Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HTB. Hope all is well. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Look, this is a video here with a different approach. I think one where you can think about it, as well as giving you guys some stats. But first and foremost, just want to give credit to NRL, Fox Sports, as well as NRL Roast for giving me this data. I did also at the same time go on my way to sort of add things up, as well as get more data regarding some of the stats here. So we'll get into it. But in saying that, I've got a ball to catch, so be right back. Alright guys, so yes, it is what it is. I am a fan who loves defense. I love watching tackles. I love how they go. I love the one-on-one. I love the tackles near the try line. I love the tackles that push players back into their own goal line, into touch. Maybe not a fan of the tackles that lead to our penalties, but maybe the tackles. I just love tackles, right? We watch the game. As fans, we expect a lot from the defensive end, particularly for our teams, right? When you watch, say, for example, Broncos, the Titans, Raiders, the Dragons, the Warriors, Storm, Panthers, whatever. When you watch them play, although we love the offensive side, the kicking game, we love the set plays, we love the tries, we also understand that when you don't have the ball, what are you doing if the opposition has the ball? That's right, you're tackling, you're making sure you can get your line straight, you're making sure that you've got your players there, able to mark, able to run to where that guy is attacking the hole, making sure that your say, for example, your scattered defense can somehow still be able to rectify the issue there that's happened. So again, defense. Does defense win games? Yes, it does. Is it the reason why games are won? I think it's just all part of the collective, isn't it? But in saying that, I'm talking about defense. It is such an important and integral part of rugby league that without it, that's where you get the high scoring games. And we've seen a few of them as well. Hey, they're fun, don't get me wrong. But when defense is thrown out the window, it ain't a good thing to see. We don't like seeing our players miss tackles. We don't like seeing our players get stepped and be on highlight reels because they got fended and so on and so forth. We want to see our teams, our players, be able to grab that guy, throw him on the ground, and subdue them, basically, right? Make sure that they cannot move. So the definition of tackle, obviously, is to subdue someone. And the NRL definition too is the same thing, making sure that the ball carrier is on the ground, with no movement, basically. And saying that as well, considering there's such a high emphasis on tackling, I'm really surprised there isn't any awards for, tacklers. For example, the defensive player of the year award. And I think there needs to be more emphasis on that, and not just that as a singular award. Maybe you can look at other sort of categories for defense, whether it be the best one-on-one tackler, whether it be the best defensive player, whether it be the most tackles, things like that encourage players to also take their defensive game seriously. And I'm surprised that the NRL has not looked into it any further. So here is my video, giving you guys the top three, again, not my opinion, right here from the NRL. And giving you guys my thoughts on it and why I think it is important. Hey, if the NBA can have a Defensive Player of the Year award, surely the NRL can. Why not? We make such an emphasis of teaching kids to tackle, the technique and all at such a young age. Surely at the top the elite end of the spectrum of NRL, or rugby league, sorry. I'm sure you can have an award that congratulates somebody for the amount of tackles they made, the one-on-one, so on and so forth. So in saying that, here are the categories, the first to 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll just go from there. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, and I'll provide some pictures too. So for the most tackles, right, hooker plus overall, and bear in mind that hookers do a lot of tackling. I'm sure whatever team you support, you see it. Normally it's your hooker that has the most points, most tackles. I know for a fact for the Warriors, it is mainly Egan most times, 9 times out of 10. So in first place, we have Jaden Brayley with 1,134 tackles in 24 games. Bear in mind, he didn't play the last, and that's a lot of tackles. Number 2 is Damien Cook with 1,049 tackles, 24 games. And last but not least, it was Andrew McCulloch with 1,041 tackles and 22 games. So for the most tackles, no hooker, was Alex Twal with 980. and again Alex 12 for the West Tigers. Number 2 was Jake Trbojevic with 934 tackles. And third place was Isaiah Yeo with 872 tackles. And all these three mentioned played 25 games. But again, just massive numbers there. Massive numbers. So the highest average player tackles per game was Josh Jackson, who had played, till this point anyway, 17 games played, who had a astounding stat of 46 tackles, 46.2 tackles per game. I want to try and dive more into the statistic part of it, particularly if you're going to go 25 games for the players and see who had the highest overall. But for 17 games, most tackles, that's a very high, decent amount of volume tackling. So the most one-on-one tackles, so the top three. First place from Manly was Morgan Harper with 102. And the second place was Britton Nikora with 97. And third place was Viliami Kikau with 85. And all three of these players played 25 games. I love one-on-one tackles, if you cannot tell already by the expression on my face. That moment of who scores or who's not going to score. You know, that moment of, can you stop this guy who usually runs people over? Can you stop this guy who usually steps one side and makes you look like a fool? Can you stop this guy who has arms as strong as hammers? When he fends you, it is game over. Can you throw this guy into the touchline? Can you stop him? I love that part. And obviously physics as well, judging momentum. You know, you're as a defender, you're bracing yourself, whatever angle. Again, that is just the beauty of it. And again, congrats to Morgan Harper winning first place there. And the tackle efficiency. So tackle efficiency, for those of you who don't know, is basically the highest percentage of, you know, your tackling, basically, of getting a player. So it's basically the most tackles and the less misses, basically, because everyone, there's no perfect season, I don't think, for a defender. I don't think I've ever yet to see a defender who has had a perfect defensive season. I can look at someone like Nathan Hindmarsh, who I think was the first player to tally 10,000 plus tackles, but even he had some misses, though his efficiency was very high. So for this year, first place was Bunty R4 with 96%. Second place was Eden Fonor-Blake with 95. And third place was Alex 12 with 95. Bear in mind, Bunty R4 played 20 games. Eden Fonor-Blake with 15. And Alex 12 with 23. But I'm saying that again, if I could get more stats on that, that would be awesome. But tackle efficiency, 96% chance. That basically means that if you're running into Bunty R4, there's a 96% chance that he's going to tackle you. When you put some of those tackle percentages into the efficiency sort of column, it's pretty full on to know that regardless of who you are as a runner, whether that be Taumalola, whether that be Kalen Ponga, whether that be Munster or even Brandon Smith, you know, some of those crucial striking sort of players, it doesn't matter, because there's a 96% chance you're going to get tackled. And when you put in that context, that is awesome as to sort of think about. And obviously for the NRL, the best moment, the best defensive moment went to Xavier Coates with his tackle on Dan Gagai, which I thought was marvellous and brilliant to watch. But in saying that, I do think, though, we're going to get to my sort of ending here just quickly. I do think, though, that the NRL needs to put more emphasis on defense. I think the NRL needs to award and make some more awards for these categories and give them to these players, because I think, yes, it's all going well to win this and win that and all that stuff there, but I still think the defensive part of the game needs to be awarded. That is just my pure opinion. Again, as someone who loves it, I'm sure you do too. There's a lot of people who love the attacking side of footy now that we're seeing, you know, with the new rule changes, but I'm sure there's some traditionalists who don't mind the odd scrap, you know, on the scoreboard too, you know. So for example, 10 points to 12, 14 points to 12, so on and so forth. So just a very tight game, which is all due to defense. But again, I think that defense, because it's so highly touted as a kid growing up, it's all about defense. I think it is so important to actually, yeah, as I said, make that an award. Make it something that's celebrated. You know, give the award to the highest efficient tackler. Give the award to the most tackles. You know, I think there just needs to be more awards regarding that. But it's just my general opinion in saying that. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Hey, tell me what you think. But in saying that, guys, thanks for watching. You're awesome if you made it this far. And yeah, again, kudos to those guys. if I was doing my own awards night regarding them, I think you'll know who I'd reward. Already the guys on first place, immaculate records and stats to have. But in saying that, thanks again for watching. Take it easy. I'll see you guys next time in a new one. But for now, take it easy. And hey, I guess we can say of these plays, it's not about holding the ball. It's about tackling. But in saying that, hey, take it easy. Hold the ball. See you guys next time.